Hey YouTube, what's going on? It has been with dread and loathing that I have put off and procrastinated about this project that I'm into. And what I'm doing is finishing out this stairway. You know, there's things in life that none of us ever care to do again. Maybe getting married or changing jobs or having another kid or tiling a shower or finishing out stairs. And some of us it may be all of the above. But my concern has been all along that this stairway is so narrow. And you can probably tell by the way I'm having to set this shot up, I don't have a lot of room in here. And if you've watched my other video, the carriage house tour, you can see that there's not a lot of room in this stairway. So I knew that I wanted to come up with some kind of system that I could easily disassemble this entire handrail assembly. And obviously, like I said, part of it is my fear and concern of being able to move big items up this stairway, and I'd say a great deal of it is my fear of the commitment, actually nailing it down and it's there permanent. That whole commitment thing is just always been a bit of a problem in my disastrous anti-commitment life. But anyway, so I didn't really know how to go about it, and I've studied on this a great while, and through trial and error and further development of my foul mouth, I think I've come up with a way and a system that's going to work pretty good, and I want to show you how to do it. What I've done is I've made this entire assembly so that it lifts out. And what I want to show you is kind of how I've done that. Put a slot in the bottom. I've got a cleat right along here that it rests in. I don't know if you can see on the inside of that handrail, there's a piece of track, and that track mates up with a bolt. Now, damn, that's getting heavy. This entire newel post is a sleeve, and it will lift out too. So the whole thing comes out. So what we're going to do, I've still got this last run. I'm going to do it the same way, and I'm going to show you how I've done it, and maybe you can give me your thoughts and come up with a better way. But this is what I've come up with. So let's go ahead and get started on that. Okay, so let me talk about the newel post. And this isn't a video on how to build a newel post. We'll maybe do that in a later edition. But here's how it works. I just built a box out of 3/4 inch plywood, and I mitered the corners. And then I built another box that's a little bit smaller, and this is just a sleeve. And the whole thing just slides out. There's how the corners are mitered, and I've reinforced it inside. And that's going to be all there is to disassembling this newel post. Now, it's a little bit loose right now, and I'll shim it up. I knew it would be a little bit loose, and I'll get it shimmed up, and it's going to be really tight, and it's going to work perfect. So let's talk a little bit about what's going to happen here on this knee wall. I've already cut out my trim board, my finish piece. This is oak. It'll be stained. I've found the proper angle to cut it, and here's my rough framing. And what's going to happen is I'm going to take this and I'm going to run it through the table saw with a dado blade, and I'm going to cut out about 1/2 inch of this. And I'm going to have a cleat, which is going to be a piece of 1/2 inch. I'll probably make it about, I don't know, 2 inches wide, and that cleat is going to go all the way down through here. And the slot will just sit right over top of that cleat. It'll keep this knee wall from moving in this direction. Of course, it'll be secured up top with the handrail, and that's how that assembles in place. I don't actually screw it down. You don't need to, because you'll see it's going to be plenty tight and it's not going to move. And that's that's what we're going to do with this. So let's find our measurements. Yours will be different, so I won't spend a lot of time on that. I'll find the measurements. I'll take this to the table saw and I'll cut that slot out, and I'll show you how I'm going to do it. Okay, got the dado blade set up. I'm going to take out 1/2 inch. That's being a little bit aggressive, but I'm going to take a real small bite, 1/4 inch at a time. I think I'm going 1 1/4 inches or something. So I have to take several passes at it, but we'll get it done. Okay, here's our slot and our cleat, and it fits perfect, and that's going to be good. The way that I'm going to get this laid out and set into place perfectly is I'm going to take a piece of double-sided tape here and just kind of tack this cleat in here. Then I'm going to run a big old piece of double-sided tape through here. And so that'll hold it in place. Then I'll take it in there on the knee wall, and I'll lay it down and just mash it down real good. And when I lift it up, the cleat will remain in place, and I'll nail it. So let me do that. So I'll take some of this double-sided tape. It's really strong, it tacks really good. So when I lay this onto the rough framing, it'll just stay right in place, and I'll know exactly where this is supposed to be. So let's go in there and do it. Okay, we will put this thing into place right here. See, I've got the double-sided tape on that cleat. And I know before I mash it down there, I want to make sure that I'm right here where I want to be. It right there, and that's it right there. Let me give it a good mash and then lift it off. See how our cleat stayed right in place? Now that is pretty slick. Let me just tack it with a couple of nails. Move this newel post. And there we have our cleat for our new wall. See? So that'll keep that thing from moving this direction. There'll be pressure coming down, the weight of the banister and all that. That assembly is going to be bearing down on it. So, you know, it's going to hold into place really good. So that looks good. Okay, let's talk about the handrail a little bit. I didn't build a handrail. What I did was I just bought a piece of off-the-shelf handrail. And what I want to do is dress it up a little bit, do something to it to make it a little unique and make it not look off the shelf. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of oak. This one is I think 2 1/8 is how that worked out. The reason that I've cut it this wide is because if you look on this handrail, see the little lip right here on each side? The distance between the two I think is 2 1/8. So that's how I came up with that magic number. Now what I'm going to do is take this piece of oak to the router table, and I'm going to run it through a beading bit. This is a white side bit, and what that's going to do is put that profile right there on it, on each side. Then I'm going to take this over to the table saw, got the dado blade set up, and I'm going to hog out all this material right here. I think I'm going to make it about 3/8 of an inch deep. Okay, you see where I'm going with this? From here to here, from here to that lip is 3/8. And what's going to happen is this piece of handrail will fit down in that slot. It'll raise this piece up to that bead and give it a nice little unique look. So I've already obviously cut this out, and what I'll do now is I'll go over to the router table and I'll run a piece of scrap through so you'll see kind of how that looks as it goes through. Then we'll take this to the table saw and we'll hog out that material and make that slot. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, we've got our piece cut out right here. Got our slot in it, and this is how it's going to look. See, it's just going to slip right down in there. I'm not going to mash it all the way on, but you kind of see it already had a little bead on it. We just added 3 more beads, and that gives it a really neat, I think, semi-custom look. So let's go ahead and take this inside and start laying out where this is going to fit against the newel posts.